Oh, welcome back. So I guess another interesting deed about my life that I don't really share all that often. I might want to get bonus HP. Man, you're like the 30th person to recommend that to me, and I understand. I understand, but like, just I don't need any bonus HP. I got to where I am in life without bonus HP. You know, I got all my life I had to fight face on right now. Okay, son of a bitch! How many damn things did that thing dodge? Anyway, like I got my fight face on, and there's just nothing. I just don't need that any help. You know, I'm proud. I'm independent, and I have no shame of who I am, and who I am is a 3 HP man. All right. So that's where we're at. Oh god. Okay, that was close. Hey, I might be able to get to the second fight. Yeah, man, that's what I'm talking about. I don't know why I call it the second fight when I meant the like 5th phase, but you know, all the keys are next to each other in your mouth. I can also just walk off the back of the train here. I didn't know that, so that's gonna make my life a little bit nicelier. Cool. So let's just get to this, you know. There's gonna be a trillion baseballs flying around my face. You know, this is gonna be a fact of I'm not really gonna be dodging these things, to be totally honest. It's gonna be a can I oh, I can kill those things. Of course, what was I thinking? The reason that that's impossible to dodge is I'm supposed to drop on the ground and tell those guys, like, to go back to Ghost Hell or wherever they came from. Okay, that didn't count. We're gonna throw that run out. Oh man, I don't know. I like the challenge of this game. I feel like getting an extra hit point is anathemic to the whole reason that I'm playing it. Like if I really wanted to have like a gracious little romp through, like an elegant little time with all this stuff, then I could just put it on easy mode and just do it that way. But no. This is what my granddad, when he played video games, do you think they had easy modes? No. They didn't even have menu screens when my granddad played video games. I'm talking like you plug that cartridge in and then you just hear like and then, like, all of a sudden you're looking at, like, Atari Real Baseball or whatever. And it's like, you think he had 3 HP playing Atari Real Baseball? Yo, the computers weren't even fucking powerful enough to keep track of HP back in the day. You had one number, and that was score. And if you were lucky, it was even legible. Alright? So, I forgot where this rant started, but I liked where it ended, so I'm gonna keep that one. I can go in the best of highlight reel. My granddad actually did play video games. I guess I've never really talked about him that much. I've never talked about him on stream or anything like that. He was a badass, okay? As much as you may be thinking to yourself, like, wow, Bird, you are a real badass 100% fuck of the time. Like, I do not hold up a candle to my granddad. Alright, so he died in, like, 1996, I think, or 95. I don't really remember off the top of my head. But he had a computer. He was on the internet and stuff. Like, he actually, I remember one of the last memories I really have of him was him ordering a book off of Amazon.com back when it was like a static blue website. And it was like, it just sold books and stuff like that. So, God damn it. Anyway, so he was like pretty damn cool for like a 86-year-old man in the 90s. And I mean, that's not even the most badass thing he did. That's just like stuff that I remember him doing. But like, he was super duper badass. He was in. I guess I'll just keep going on this topic. So he was a anthropologist back when anthropology was new, and I'm not even joking. Like, basically, the field of anthropology was invented, and he was like basically the second generation of people that got degrees in it. So some guy, I don't know who, invented the concept of anthropology and then ended up being my granddad's teacher. So he curated something like 11 museums over the course of his life, and he was also a college professor and all that good stuff. Super duper cool person. And he played video games. But like I said, these were, you know, very loosely defined video games by our standards. I remember one time I was playing one of his video games and it was like a maze and you were a robber and you had to avoid all the cops. And you had to like dynamite your way out of the bank and stuff like that. And yep, that's a real classic. Everyone remembers that gem. I think it was called Super Bank Robber Deluxe or something like that. Shit if I know. Okay, yeah, these things are killable. It's just you have to do it. Okay, here we go. This is going well. I've only taken 2 damage. We're doing just fine. But yeah, like that game didn't have an easy mode. That game, you want to know another game that he played? He played a game called Caesar, and that was like Sim City, but like hard Sim. Oh yeah, I guess I won just now. That was like hard Sim City, where it was like it was like Sim City, but you also had to declare war on ancient Roman empires. And like, it was a really cool game, and I played it. And, like, I would put down a farm and a bathhouse, and then I'd get invaded and die. And he was like, let me show you what I did. And then he'd, like, load up his game, and he had, like, a fucking palace with, like, grand bathhouses and, like, 90 temples to Mars and stuff like that. And he was like, I get about $1 million gold every month in taxes. It was like, oh, man. Oh, man. Yeah, he was cool. Damn, he was really cool. And yeah, what else did he play? Oh, he played Spirit Destiny, so he played first-person shooters, too. Can you fucking picture that real quick? Like, an 80-year-old man sitting at a computer playing like, Wolfenstein. And just being like, you take that, Nazis. I remember doing that for real. No, he did serve in World War II. Everyone did, but he didn't, you know, shoot anybody. He wasn't like a Marine or anything like that. I forget what he did, but god damn, he was cool. He's even cool when I make up stories about him, right? Like, oh yeah, my granddad's so awesome. There was this one time he met the king of Prussia, and it was like I didn't care much for his policy on civil asset forfeitures. I don't know, other intellectual things. Let's talk to Satan. Hold it right there, Wheat. You ain't leaving till you put the screws to all them debtors. All of them. You get me good. Now scram. Alrighty then. I guess I'm not done with this act. I thought I was done here. But apparently there's more debtors I need to put the screws on. Whatever the hell that means. I assume it means, like, thumb screws? In which case, I didn't realize that, Cupman was into that. Goddammit, Cuphead was into that sort of thing. Let's talk to this guy. He looks like he owes Satan some money. Oh, right. He's just gonna tell me that how many times I've died. 110. Oh my god! Oh. Alright, who's gonna donate $1.73 to me in Twitch bits? Come on. Come on, let's see it. It's the least I deserve. After all this shit I've put myself through. What's left? Who haven't I killed? I am actually serious. I don't know what levels are possibly left at this point. Oh, wait. It's in the upper right? Oh, it's the dragon. Oh, that's right. Oh. Alright, it's fine. It's fine. Tell you what. I'm not gonna use the charge shot and again on this guy because the boomerang shot is a lot of fun, and it's a little bit like more no-brainery. I can just kind of like talk about my granddad's favorite video games and stuff while like just doing this because hey, I'm just looking the other direction. God. Makes me think of a really, really random old video game I played a long time ago called Star Control 2. So this was like a DOS game, and I remember it was a DOS game. Anyway, it was a space combat sim slash RPG, and it was incredibly good. Made by the company called Toys for Bob, as in, yeah, I've never heard of that video game company. Yeah, they, I think after Star Control, they basically just made things like, not like big rigs over the road trucking or whatever, but like Jeopardy for DOS and stuff like that. But they made one game where literally you fought a spaceship that was commandeered by an alien of a race of abject cowards. And what they did was they made all their spaceships have heat-seeking missiles that you fired out of your butt, and they like out of the back end of the spaceship, and went. So, you know, a space combat sim where you're literally running away from all of your enemies the entire time, shooting heat-seeking missiles at them, and the entire time you're just going. I'm gonna tell you right now, greatest video game I've ever played. It is actually an incredibly cool video game, but it's also a billion years old, so I'm not going to tell you to play it because, you know, I would... Jesus, that'd be like recommending, like, have you heard of this thrilling, competitive multiplayer experience called Pong? Like, nah, doesn't matter. Oh, God. Since I'm on the topic of old school video games, another funny thing, a couple nights ago, I got kind of drunk with my friends, and one of them has a RetroPie emulator, which is basically like a classic video game console emulator, and it comes with basically every single ROM. And they had ROMs of basically every Atari game that you can think of, and tons that you could not think of. Now, as much as I've been talking about Atari games tonight, I've actually never played an Atari system. They are quite old. So we decided, like, none of us had played any Atari games before in our entire lives, so we decided to get really drunk and just play random Atari games for like an hour, and what we started with was E.T., and that just set the tone right, let me tell you that much. So, we got really drunk, and we just played E.T. for the Atari, and, like, all I'm saying is that literally every Atari game starts the exact same way, which is you plug in an Atari game, you hear the Atari system go, and then you're just staring at like a green pixel, and like there's some blue pixels, and you hear there's always a footstep sound effect. So you always hear as like some fucking like beige thing wearing a hat is like walking towards you, and then you're just like, what's am I the thing with the hat? Am I the thing with am I E.T.? Like, what am I looking at here? And then there's a menu, and it's always got a timer on it, and the time is going by like 1 unit of time is like a third of a second. So it's like I have 10,000 second thirds to get through this game that I have no idea what I'm doing or who I'm controlling. Alright, so then you're just like, okay, I figured out which pixel is me, and I figured out how to walk around, and of course you have footstep sound effects too that are different from the enemy, so you have like that's your walking sound effect, so you just, like, there's no music in these games, too, so the entire soundtrack is just... And then whenever you touch something, it's the shrillest, most ear-piercingest noise ever. It's like, oh man, I'm having a great time playing E.T. Oh look, there's a phone piece over here. Let me just go ahead and touch this thing. And then you're like, oh god, it disincentivizes you. You don't want to touch anything ever again after you hear that shit. Anyway, so we played this, and the fun part about E.T. God damn it. Oh god. Okay, the fun part about E.T. is that you walk like everywhere in E.T. there's these fucking pits. Like you walk 5 feet and E.T. is just falling down a pit. And I've watched E.T. like once when I was a little kid, so my memory's a little bit faded on it. I remember no scenes in the movie where there was a pit at all. But, c'est la vie, in the video game, they were just like pits. They were in Legend of Zelda, the game that hasn't been released until 20 years after this game comes out. People fucking love pits. We're gonna put E.T. in pit after pit after pit. And to get out of a pit is the greatest thing you'll ever see. Because E.T. just sticks his head straight up in the air, extendo necks, and like just goes, and then you just go like float up, and your third schmeckens, you know, you know what, you remember what I'm talking about? You start with 10,000 thirds of a second, you know, they start going by faster. That uses up E.T.'s power. Apparently, the longer E.T.'s neck is, the shorter his lifespan is. So, just a little bit of backstory lore to the E.T. universe. Anyway, so that's a classic. You should definitely watch some videos on E.T. if you haven't. It is priceless. And watching somebody who's never heard of E.T. discover all of this in real life, like, he had no idea how bad E.T. was. He was like, I'm gonna trust you on this, man. I'm sure this is gonna be terrible, but like, he didn't know. So he was like, do I go in the pits? And I was like, oh, you go in the pits. You don't get a choice whether you go in the pits. Pits are a thing that happen to you in that game, not something you have any fucking control over. So he played E.T. for so long that he actually got a game over, which means he played E.T. for like 35 minutes. And at no point did we come anywhere close to beating the game. Good times. After that we played Pac-Man, which, boy, that wasn't any better. I don't really remember Pac-Man quite as humorously as I remember E.T., but you should watch some E.T. videos and stuff like that. And I'll be honest, after playing a night full of Atari games, I think the video game industry deserved to crash in the 70s because, oh damn, they were, oh god, I hate that shit. I hate that whenever I launch a special attack and just die afterwards because the game doesn't, okay, it's fine. But anyway, yeah, E.T., Pac-Man, video games. Video games suck. Back when computers were like, yeah, we have A1 and A0, so better put them to good use, boys. Man, I don't know. As a kid, I kind of thought to myself, like, how did computers even work? Like, 8 bits? Like, how is it possible for any electronic device to work whatsoever with how, like, unpowerful they were? But, you know, they managed to make some pretty good shit back in the day. I guess, you know, I would describe myself as a fan of retro games, but not really by choice, right? Like, I mean, I'm a fan of retro games insofar as, like, to me, they were just video games, and then video games changed, they just kept making more of them. But, like, to me, it's like, oh yeah, I remember Chrono Trigger when it was new and stuff like that. So, like, I'm a big fan of retro video games because... What? How did I get hit for 2 damage? I thought I had 1 damage. I don't know. Whatever. But that's just like... That's just like a kind of a fun fact of like, oh yeah, every video game that I played is now retro. Huh. Weird. And it'll happen to you! Oh, all you kids out there with your Nintendo Switches and shit like that. I love my Nintendo Switch. I've never used it as a handheld. I have no idea how good it is as a handheld. But it's like...
It's actually really good.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, you used it when I was, like...
I used it very briefly as a handheld. It was a good size.
Ah, okay, cool. Yeah, I like how the Joy-Cons, like, feel. They're remarkably comfortable for how small and, like, almost not really shaped like a human hand they are. Like, no, like, I literally think that they modeled the Joy-Con shape after, like, a Lego person's hand. Like a big one. Just, like, I don't know, did Duplos even make, like, people in them? Oh yeah, they do. Look at Duplos. Duplos are bullshit. I know they're the same. I know that they interchange with Legos, but it's like, I don't want to use Duplos. I mean, I don't use Legos or Duplos at all anymore. But as a kid, I was very adamant of like, my Lego sets will contain absolutely no Duplos because Duplos are for children, and I am a pre-tween. Okay, so you need to respect like my maturity here. God damn it. Oh, I bailed on the jump when I shouldn't have. I thought it was gonna be fine. Alright, well, let's give this guy another shot in a second. Thanks for watching. I said thanks for watching. I said stop recording.